Our next guest is upset with the tax bill and he regrets donating money to the campaigns of Jeff Flake and Bob Corker, senators both. David Smick is the man, economist and former senior staffer on Capitol Hill. You did give money to Jeff Flake and Bob Corker and now you regret it. Why?
Well, I give money to all Republicans. I don't buy the Steve Bannon line that it doesn't make a difference whether it's Mitch McConnell or the Democrats controlling the Senate. I want the Republicans to control the Senate. But I was shocked that they were talking about a trigger for the tax bill, and thankfully it was killed. But a trigger, the last president to propose raising taxes with a rapidly declining economy was Herbert Hoover. And that would have been a disaster for the Republicans.
Well, David, answer me this question. Jeff Flake voted for it, but Bob Corker did not. Was Bob Corker's opposition basically personal because the president had been nasty to him?
I think you have to let that speak. I had a conversation with one of those individuals, or a discourse with one of those individuals the morning before the vote, and made the case. This is austerity economics. I mean, this is what the IMF proposed for Greece, and look how that ended up. I said, you don't want to go there. I said, but I think that I don't understand what the personal motives there and all the rest, but I do know this, that it's worked out, and I think it's time to move on from those guys.
Now, look, we've got a House-Senate conference committee, and they're going to work out what the final deal will be. I take it that they're only going to tweak this thing as opposed to major rewrites. Is that correct?
Actually, I think there's a little more going on there. The president had said all along a corporate rate of 20%, nothing higher. And I noticed that Senator Rubio, right in the middle of the negotiation, was trying to bump it up. No. Now, 22, the president says 22 is acceptable. I think the big surprise right now, the thing that is that for the House is now open to a drop in the individual rate.
OK, hold on a second, David. I've got news on the sausage making.
Yeah, Blake Berman, talking to a senior administration official, says this. He says if you look at the process and policy, he says both chambers are well aligned and they fully expect this will be resolved before Christmas and the president will sign this tax legislation into law in 2017. So very optimistic, positive outlook that the two chambers are well aligned.
OK, you're in line with that there, David? That I mean, they're in line.
Yeah,
they're going for. Nothing's going to stop this thing.
Nothing's going to stop it, but they're in line. But it could be. I think there is a realization now that, particularly in the House, but that they came out with to keep the top rate at 39.6, and I think there's a realization now that was what the president at the time was saying they had to have. But I think that's going to come down. The Senate's already brought it down to 38. I think it's going to come down. Because basically the definition of tax reform in the view of the Congress, right, Republicans in Congress, is not to raise taxes at the top. It's to make the system more efficient by lowering rates, but then taking away things like the deduction for state and local income, taking away all the loopholes, keep the rate the same. Essentially, taxes stay the same, but it's a much more efficient system.
Okay, so you think we might get a lower top rate? Okay, I've got to run,
really
David.
do. I think that's the surprise.
Okay, I think our audience will approve. David, thanks for joining us as always. Good stuff. Excellent commentary on the sausage making. Appreciate that. Thank you.